I hope the camera is straight. It looks straight to me. All right, cool. Hello, beautiful being, and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while. I think it's been 4 months to be exact. So this video is just a life update. My dog he's gonna be running around per usual, but as you can see, our environment has changed. We're in a different location, and you might hear things outside of this door, but that is life right now for me. I guess I'm just gonna dive right in. If you are new to the channel, hello, welcome, thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all things Patience Tamarra's life, if that is something that you're interested in. Yeah, so jumping right in. If you remember, I quit my job. It's been a whole year since I quit my job. I quit my job September of 2020 after this beautiful spiritual awakening that I had on my living room floor that left me crying and just feeling so ready for what the universe bestowed upon me in a vision. It was absolutely a beautiful experience. I quit my job probably the very next day or maybe a day or two after that. And that's kind of where I left off. I haven't updated you all since. Maybe I have, I can't remember. But I have moved to South Carolina, and I initially moved in with my grandmother. She has a home here and she had a spare room, so she opened her doors to me and allowed me to stay there for a few months. It was extremely hard finding a job. So I've been down here for 8 months now and I still don't have a job. Yeah, so I have been just navigating all of these life circumstances, all of the I don't want to call them consequences, but the aftermath of me making the decision that I did to quit my job, and it's gotten me here. Jobless, living at home, and in a financial crisis is what we can call it. And I'm gonna just be real with you guys. That's where I am right now. I'm 25, I'm jobless, living at home with my mother and my little sister, and my dog, he's still here, keeping me company, keeping me sane, really. And I am in debt and I barely have any money. That's me, yay. I can't believe I'm making this video. Oh wow, okay, we're doing it. We're doing this, okay. Yes, it has been a very hard few months. I have gone through a lot of self-esteem issues. I have had to pick up my entire life that I created for myself in Maryland and moved to South Carolina, where I knew no one except for my family. So I had to build new relationships with new people, had to, find new jobs. I had to do jobs that I thought I would never have to do. I became a server at a restaurant, which was an experience in itself. And I had to push myself even through all of the self-esteem issues and just not feeling worthy and deserving. I had to keep going, and it's been hard. It's been extremely hard. I don't know if you all will be able to hear my mom in the background. You know what? Whatever. This is my life, and I'm tired of pretending like my life is something that it is not. This is it. So you might hear full conversations in the background. It just is what it is. I live with other people now, and I can't create my content without it clashing with their own personal routines and schedules. So I hope that it doesn't bother you, but this is real life. I feel like YouTubers, we have the ability to edit out certain things that we don't want people to see, and I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of pretending to be something that I am not. This is me. This is me, take it or leave it. It is what it is. Anyway, okay, so let me at least try to have some structure to this video. So moving back in, I quit my job. I moved to South Carolina, and initially I moved in with my grandmother, and that didn't work out. So now I am living with my mother and my little sister, 2 dogs and a cat, and it's extremely difficult. It has been a humbling experience for sure. And it has been humbling because I saw this vision of how my life was going to be after I quit my job, and my life looks nothing like that at all. I had a vision and I ran with it without a plan, without a savings, without any type of cushion or comfort if I failed, which I'm not gonna say I failed, but things are just taking a little bit longer than what I assumed they would take in order for me to arrive to the place that I want to be at. And I feel like if I would have taken my time and coming up with a plan before just jumping and quitting my 9-to-5 corporate job that paid me well, that I had benefits at, that allowed me to get my own apartment, all of these things, I know I would have been in a better place, but I went with my emotions. I reacted rather quickly, and now I'm here living back with my mother. And that's just the reality of my situation right now. I don't think I would change it because I've learned a lot throughout this process. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about finances, the importance of having just financial literacy. I've learned a lot about being an entrepreneur, what that means, what that looks like for me, and so many other aspects of life, and the many lessons that I have gained throughout this process of just transitioning in life has been a great reward. So I feel like I may have failed from the outside looking in, but the internal work that I've been doing throughout this entire process has been very rewarding, and I don't see that as a fail whatsoever. Being in debt. I am deep in debt right now, and I was never taught about finances. I was never taught about the importance of being financially stable. My relationship with money has been very tumultuous. I saw it as something that you get and you immediately let go of. It's not something that you cherish. It's not something that you save. It's something that's ever flowing in and out. It's not something that is abundant. It's always lacking. These are the things that I was taught based on my childhood experiences and what I saw. Money is evil. Money brings greed. Money is never in good and large quantities. We always just have enough. That's the foundation of money that I grew up on, because it's what my mother grew up on, it's what her mother grew up on. We didn't have a lineage of financially literate people in my family, so that has shown up for me in many different ways, but I am transforming that relationship now. I am learning the importance of money. I am learning what it is, what it means, how to use it, how to save it. And I'm seeing it as a tool now more than ever. Money is essentially a tool to help you get the things that you desire. It is something that is for your benefit. It's not something that's evil. It's not something, it's not something that is only for people who look a certain way. Money is available to all of us, and I'm shifting that perspective within myself and shifting the relationship that I have with money through affirmations. I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but there's this great money mantra that's going around by this awesome dude on TikTok, and I've been listening to it just about every day, twice a day, and I'm starting to see a huge difference in how I relate to money. So I'm working on that. I am really trying to become wealthy. I'm trying to live a luxurious life, and a part of that is knowing that I deserve and am worthy of that lifestyle, knowing that I deserve and am worthy of having money in my savings account and not having to penny pinch every single month, having money to pay my bills and not having to worry about each month whether or not I'm gonna be able to pay them. You know, it's just, there's so many aspects to money and financial literacy that I'm learning now because of the decisions that I have made. And yeah, if you are in the same boat, just know that you're not alone. We're learning this together. There are many apps that I am coming across that's extremely helpful for learning about financial literacy. I'm using the Mint app and Acorns app. I am also learning a bit more about investments. My little sister is getting into investments a lot more, so learning just how to better manage my money, and those apps have been extremely helpful for me. So yeah, what else did I want to talk to you guys about? I have a little list. Falling into laziness. I personally, when I get like this huge rush of excitement on like a project or on just anything that I'm working on, in the beginning I'm like gung-ho. I give it all of my energy, I give it all of my might, and then if I don't see progress quickly, I stop. I fall into this lazy place, into this very complacent and content place, and I don't put in the same amount of energy, effort, and work into the things that I desire. And that's where I was. I created my book, I published my book, which has been doing very, very well. I'm so grateful for all the love surrounding that. I became a yoga instructor, I got certified. I was doing good for a little bit, creating content on YouTube, my podcast, and then I reached a plateau and I stopped creating. I fell into a depression, and when you're in a depressive state, it's so hard to create anything. It's so hard to get out of bed, let alone create content for other people. And for yourself. So I found myself just being lazy, honestly, not putting in a lot of effort towards the things that I am passionate about, and the things that I was once passionate about also became, what's the word I'm looking for? They just weren't fun anymore, you know? It became more of like a job. It became something that I knew I had to do, and it also became something that I was seeking value and money for. I remember seeing on Twitter a while back, it said that not every passion and hobby should become your full-time income, because it'll lose its value to you. And I think that's what happened for me. The things that once brought me so much joy and passion that I did in my free time before, when I was working my 9 to 5, like my podcast, like yoga, like content creating, all of these things, I was now trying to make those things my main source of income, and I was creating from that place of lack because I didn't really have any income sources. I didn't really have a plan B. So that was like my all, and I was creating from that place of like, this has to work, and it was showing up in what I was creating. I wasn't happy with what I was creating because it was coming from a place of lack instead of abundance and joy and happiness, and it showed. So I think once I reached that depression and I stopped creating, I just had no desire to do anything. I had no desire to even pursue those things again. I really was like, I don't even know if I want to be a yoga instructor anymore. I don't know if I want to create content. I don't know if I want to publish another book. All of these things I was now questioning and falling into just this lazy depressive and content place, and it wasn't getting me anywhere. Luckily for me, I have these beautiful spiritual tools and resources that I always fall back on that allow me to come back to a space of just knowing my truth, knowing my power, knowing my strength, and it literally pulls me out of the dirt, pulls me out of the darkness and back into the light. And those spiritual tools for me are meditation, affirmations, journaling, and movement or yoga. Those 4 things, no matter how deep I am in the dirt, no matter how deep I am in the shadows of my healing, those 4 things always remind me of who I am. They always remind me that I am abundant, that I am full of love, that I am full of joy, of happiness, and it reminds me that I create the reality that I want. So if I want to continue creating a reality that's filled with despair and lack and contentment and a plateau, no growth, no blossoming of any kind, then I can stay where I was, or I can choose something different. I can signal a new timeline. And that is what I have been doing for the past few months. I've been signaling a new timeline for myself through affirming what I want, through manifesting what I want, and scripting and vision boards, and not going back to that place. There's been many of times where I feel in the back of my head that little inner voice telling me you can't do it. Right now it's a no. I'm getting up and I'm doing the work, and that is unquestionable at this point in my life. Another thing that I noticed during this time is connecting and attracting to the wrong people. They say that you attract that which you are, and that is so true. Since I was in the shadows and in the darkness, I was attracting people who were in those spaces as well. And I found that a lot of my connections that I made during this time, they were extremely one-sided. They were extremely based in trauma bonding. And when you are constantly around people who are validating you in wrong and improper ways, it's even harder for you to get out of that space. I found myself isolating from the people who knew me best, like my best and good friends. I isolated myself from them. I isolated myself from my family. And we often do that when we're going through something. We isolate ourselves from the very people who know who we are, who can reflect and remind us of our light. And instead we attract and we connect deeper to the people who are further confirming us in this darkness that we're in. So I had to sit with myself and really push myself, despite how I felt, but push myself to reach out to those that I truly loved. It was a struggle, you know? It still is a struggle sometimes because I never want to be a burden. And it's also a bit shameful. I still feel a lot of shame and guilt surrounding my life circumstances. And I think that's also why I sort of isolated myself from other people who I saw were doing good, you know, in life, who were following their dreams and putting in the work, because it was intimidating, one, and I just was shameful of where I was, and I didn't want to share. I didn't have anything to really share, you know? When you check in with people, oftentimes they're like, so what are you up to? And it gets kind of sad when you don't have anything to respond to. When you don't have anything to say in response. So I didn't reach out to those that I loved for a while. But now I'm in a place of checking in more frequently and more often, and trying to be more social and connecting with the people who reflect my light to me and who fill me up. And I feel more grounded in those connections because they aren't one-sided. I don't feel completely depleted after connecting with them. I feel full and I feel capable and like I'm enough and like I am worthy. And like I am loved. So if you are in this space right now, if you feel a lot of shame around where you are in life, around where you just how life looks for you, it's okay. What's beautiful is the people who are truly there for you, the people who truly love you, they're gonna understand. Not only will they understand, but they're gonna help you. You can receive help. People are there waiting for you to ask for help, but you just have to allow them to help you. And that starts with you reaching out. So this might be your confirmation to reach out to that person who you haven't talked to, who you've been ignoring for quite some time because you are ashamed of where you are in life. They'll understand, I promise. If they truly love you, they'll understand. I think that's kind of all I wanted to say. I know this video is kind of all over the place and I'm kind of just rambling and sharing, you know, how I feel, but I wanted to make this because I just, like I said in the beginning, I wanted to stop pretending that life is all beautiful and amazing. I know how it feels when you're looking at YouTubers and you see them with all of these followers and you're like, God, I want that life. But I have like 3,000 followers and no one cares about what I'm doing and they live these luxurious lives. I get it. I get it, but you are enough. You are enough just as you are. Your life is enough. Someone can relate to it no matter how many people it is. Someone out there can relate to what you have to say, can relate to your life experience. So don't have any shame or guilt around it. Just put on your camera and be you. Be your true and honest self, because that's all we can be. That's all we are supposed to be. It's no use in pretending to be someone else. We just have one life to live, so we might as well live it as our true and authentic selves, always. So this is me. By definition to society, I am a disappointment, but I refuse to be that. I am powerful. I am enough. I am deserving, and I am strong, and I know that this is just a time in my life where I am learning more about myself, learning more about that power that I mentioned, and it's my descension before the ascension. Shout out to my friend Jay for that beautiful conversation that we had on FaceTime, and my friend Zoe. We've had so many beautiful conversations that have just grounded me in this place of knowingness of who I truly am and not pretending to be anyone else. That felt really good. All right, that's all I have to say for now. Be sure to subscribe for more life updates and daily vlogs, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.